Oh, yes. We're about to get started. Like, for real. Oh, yes. Whoop. World. What's up, Substack? What's going on? Substack, Facebook, let me hear ya. What's up, Twitch? Where are my Twitch people at? YouTube, hello. And to all the Iranian bots that watch Rumble all day long, hello. Shalom. I guess. Thanks.
To me, Corona means Italy. Voila. 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 Voila.
Oh yeah.
Computer board. Voila. Computer board. For IO values. For IO values. Legal Voila. Legal
Almost there. Hit that like. All right. There we go. What's up, people? It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. We're partying as I turn off all my speakers. There we go. What's going on? Welcome to the show. Oh, yes. We're grooving all night long. Well, not really, just a couple hours, but what you gonna do? Chat room. Chat room. Where's the chat room?
Voila. Voila. To me, Corona means Italy.
Winston Churchill stood on the rooftops in London, very calm, making speeches. Winston Churchill.
All right, now, I would get serious. Let's get serious about having fun. Come on now. Send me, oh, I see the hearts flying over there at Substack. Look at that. The team is growing at Substack. At the Hal Sparks Substack thing. Don't I have a sub? Yeah, there it is. Look at that. On the see, I never spend any time over here because I'm always talking to you guys. I never go back to my solo screen. Right, that? What? Wait a second. Yeah, Stallone's not dead. So, people are saying rip Sly Stallone. He's not dead. That's a hoax. No, not Stallone's not dead. Just saying. Back to where we were. Really nice way to like sort of semi buzzkill the room. Yeah, no. Just letting you know, it's a hoax. Don't worry about it. I mean, Ted Nugent's career. No, but yeah, no, he's not at all. Hal, make a mango song about the mango moron. Oh, they like juicy mangoes. I have mango for brains. We'll figure it out. Oh, Sly Stone. I see. That's why the thing was people say yes, Sly as in Sly and the Family Stone. Yes, very important. Thank you. There were a lot of Slys going around. I'm like, nah, That's why, that's why everybody thinks that. Sly Stone did pass away. It's very sad. And there's, Doug Pinnick of King's X will always talk about how when he's writing bass lines, which, in heavy metal and hard rock are, amazing and masterful as they genuinely are. But in many ways, he's like, I'm trying to write one of Sly Stone's horn parts, but on bass, like the rhythm and the flow of those things. So huge impact on everybody. There you go. Yes. There you go. So that's why the confusion. Yeah, I updated the, if you reload your page, it should update the title. Sorry about that, everybody. But we're here. It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. Hashtag Donald Trump. Hashtag Rip Portland. Oh my God. Somebody's cutting and pasting already. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Stallone is older, but he's not going to die anytime soon. I don't think. No. Takes too good care of himself, and he does he's doing hormone replacement therapies clearly, but he's also probably doing stem cell therapies, that kind of stuff to keep himself alive. So there you go. TRT isn't going to kill you if it's managed by a doctor, and he clearly is. He's believe me, these guys they might be on the cutting edge. I mean, there's a chance he might be trying something stupid. But I doubt it. So anyways, hi everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. Look, lots of stuff to cover. There's obviously some stuff about the LA riots, but that is the distraction that they are throwing around so that we will eat it up. And I am not going to let them get away with it. I am not going to let them distract from the fact that Donald Trump implicated, Elon Musk implicated Donald Trump in the Epstein files. And the right wing are still dealing with the aftermath. We've got one of my favorite little jump stories, though. And to everybody who thinks the hatchet is officially buried, Trump has yet to speak to him, doesn't have any plans to. So, yeah, boy. But on top of that, if I may, Elon Musk tweeted this in response to Stephen Miller saying, "We will take back America." Damn. Yes, it's real. This is from the Daily Beast copying this. Yeah. Oh shit. He said that was fake? No, Daily Beast copied it. They're going with it. Okay, Elon Musk has been forced to rebuke Grok, his own chatbot integrated after it falsely suggested that he wrote a post saying it. On Sunday, Grok replied to a question on X with the staff, "Just like I took your life was genuine." The chatbot answered, suggesting it likely existed and was deleted. And then Musk said, "No, I never posted this." So he posted it and deleted it. Grok saw it. That's what happened. There you go. Yeah, and so, yeah, this post has been deleted. The post in question, which Grok declared was likely genuine. Yeah. He was like, I probably shouldn't. He did it so fast, like nobody noticed, or he was able to erase it really quickly, or it was in his buffer app that's attached to it or something like that. But either way, pa-poom. Musk goes all the time. Anyway, so the point being is, this is not going anywhere. One claims he took Miller's wife and mocked him for it. All right, so we got a couple people to cover, but we haven't had a chance to watch this. Have we had a chance to watch this? Have we watched this? Because I mean, this has got to, I mean, if anybody's got to decide which house they're going to live in, and we all know which one he's going to go with, it's Greg Kelly, the most miserable man on the internet. But he's got 3 theories. And I got to tell you, number 1 is probably going to be magically stupid. Number 2 is going to be mitigatory. And number 3 is just going to be, you'll love it. We may have to speed through it because nobody needs this much Greg Kelly in their life. But like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/HalSparks. Here we go.
All right, no one is exactly sure what the hell is going on right now between.
Yeah, I am. This guy bought this guy the presidency, and this guy promised this guy a bunch of shit that he didn't get, and so and then he broomed him because they both don't know how anything works. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, there are our latest contestants on That's Not How Anything Works. That's right. They figured out the hard way, and now they're going home with no consolation prizes at all on
That's not how it works. You got it all wrong.
That's right.
It's a losing game. So let's all play along.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out today for That's Not How It Works. You learn the hard way that yes, breaking up is hard to do, even when you do it poorly. That's right. Oh, thanks for the whatever splosh the other thing over in the tip jar for the new like. Excellent. A broken romance. That's odd Chiron. Odd Chiron from Greg.
Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, and President Donald Trump, the most powerful man in the world. I've known Donald Trump a lot longer. My loyalty is to him. I'm a little bit skeptical of Elon Musk, but not that much.
Not enough to actually have a real opinion.
We have three theories about what's going on.
Excellent. Yeah. I look, some people are saying that the Chiron in the chat room, some of the people in the are saying the Chiron has to do with the fact that it's Pride Month, and I don't think
It's fun to be. Let's party like we're moving. Buns and dongs and vests and thongs. Whoa, I love that feeling. Zipper hoods have got the goods. Owie, owie, oh. Buns and dongs and vests and thongs. Whoa, I love that feeling. Zipper hoods have got the goods. Owie, owie, oh. Boink, boink, dooby-doo. You know what I wanna do. Yay! Boink, boink, dooby-doo. You know what I wanna do. Basta.
look, it's probably just a typo. Hal, why won't you take these things seriously? Because I take the issues seriously, so I refuse to dirty up the seriousness of the issues by treating these assholes with any seriousness. They don't get to have that from me. Fuck off. All right. And again, just because words are used to lighten the subject does not mean the subject is taken lightly. Here we go. All right. Happy Pride Month, everybody.
This one, I'm pretty sure. That's the one that I'll sign my name to. The other two are
Okay, number one.
possibilities. Theory number one, this feud, it is all for show.
Okay, this was Carl Higby Seller. Brandon, that was his theory too. Ate shit already.
It is all strategic. It was planned way ahead of time. A lot of things are...
Yeah, it's the Ukrainian drone strike of dipshit. Then I'll say I'm going to take away all your government contracts where you make billions of dollars, and then you can accuse me of being a pedophile. This will be brilliant. High five.
on right now. We all know that Elon Musk took a lot of incoming for his association with Donald Trump, right?
No, I think he caught some of it for that, but then the whole Nazi salute thing, and then weaseling his way into Social Security and the Treasury, and without any supervision, basically giving him all the room to plant bugs and siphon material out of the White House and out of the Treasury and out of the Social Security Department and maybe even out of the Pentagon, we don't know, was what really set people off.
Left that used to love him, they hate him. And President Trump acknowledged that every step of the way. Like this.
Like this.
I just want to thank him. He's going through a lot, what they're doing to him. And these people are going to be caught, and they're going to be caught, and
They're going to be court.
be prosecuted. Elon, I want to thank you. I know you've been through a lot with this horrible situation that happens.
That's right, saving America.
It's very unfair. What he is a patriot. Here's a man that I can tell you, he's a friend of mine. He's become a friend of mine. He supported me in the election. That's when I got to know him. Really, I do him.
Right, that's it. Yeah, he supported me, so I like him. And as soon as he doesn't support me, fuck him. That's clearly the issue. We've seen this shit before. I want to see Greg's theories. We don't need to see replays of this ass kissing.
He's a great patriot.
So President Trump has been acutely aware of what Elon Musk was going through, what his
It's so difficult. It's so tawdry what they've said about him. It's so pathetic.
business was going through, right? And the vehicles being
Thanks,
burned
caretaker.
up, vandalized, people doing nasty.
Ah, played some of my footage. Yeah, you owe me money, Greg Kelly. And look, putting your name over top of it, you son of a bitch.
Investigative pieces on
That's my footage. Still haven't been paid for that. Please feel free to support the show, Venmo, all that kind of. Who knows? We might have a big influx of money. I'm not holding my breath.
Musk, you know, who he's dated, who he's had children with, all the stuff, his alleged drug use. He is
Alleged. You're adorable.
through the ringer, all for his association with President Trump.
Well, and that whole Nazi salute thing and his belief in eugenics and his partnership with people that mean to undermine Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security.
Really is what brought it on. All this stuff and people showing up at the dealerships. I mean, he never, ever had to deal with this stuff before. He was always like
Yeah, when nobody knew what he was up to.
greatest guy in the world. And then they're breaking his dealerships. Cops are all over the place.
A broken dealership? How do you do that?
He didn't like it. He wasn't used to it. He didn't deserve it. And I think that this is a plan that they hatched. We'll have a war. You'll get your distance from me. It'll be great. You'll be rehabilitated with the left. And the left.
No. Sorry. No, we can enjoy from a distance that he's having this pissing contest with Trump. But again, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. We don't, we're just hoping they destroy both of each other and not like, oh, I'm rooting for him so he can step on me.
Used to really love him.
In the history of spaceflight, only 4 entities.
Yeah.
Technologies, as I said, SpaceX trying to.
And what did he do? He was just getting us into outer space, building cool cars.
Yes, and then he got involved in politics and started to try and shut down social programs. Yeah, fuck him.
Light stuff. It was all great until he hooked up with Donald Trump. I don't believe that Elon Musk has turned on Donald Trump. I don't think Donald Trump has turned on Elon Musk.
Well, Greg, if we can't say one thing about you is that you live in your own cloud cuckoo land, and that makes sense that you would come to that conclusion because they sure as fuck have.
Things like this, they don't just evaporate. When he came out and campaigned relentlessly for Donald Trump, he made all kinds.
Yeah, they kind of do. It was as temporary as they come. This isn't a long-term relationship. He wasn't friends with Elon Musk like he was friends with, I don't know, Jeffrey Epstein for a quarter century. He just met this fucker last year.
Points that I had never considered before, like this one.
What an honor it is to be here. And, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire. And we had one president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was...
Oh, that didn't age well, did it?
Fist pumping after getting shot.
It's a really interesting way to think of it, right? That was months later.
That's what made me so happy when he said that and stuff. And now he told me that the guy's in the Epstein files. So he's pretty sure, even if they tried to assassinate him, they'd be afraid to because then maybe he has a dead man switch on the Epstein files himself. So maybe that guy.
He fist pumped Donald Trump after getting shot.
Oh, shit. Greg, am I getting through to you? Does he say Donald Trump?
Think of it, right? That was months later. He fist pumped Donald Trump after getting.
Oh, shit! I got through to him. It's bled into the thing. Oh, Greg. Thank you, buddy, for that. Donald Trump. Hey, you heard it. I'm not just some stranger over on this side of saying it. Damn. And over that picture, too.
Interesting way to think of it, right? That was months later. He fist pumped Donald Trump after getting shot.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty fucking clear. That wasn't even, that was, like, that's amazing. Holy shit. Donald Trump. There we go.
How unique is this? And this is Courage Under Fire.
Or a completely staged event.
I know Elon still knows that. I know President Trump
CSL, exactly. Birth of a drop.
still appreciates Elon. And there's something else about that moment. This is Butler,
He still appreciates the moment that they had together.
Pennsylvania, before the election, after, of course, getting shot a couple of months after that. Listen to this. The way Elon Musk puts it, this is nothing about the budget. This is nothing about reconciliation. This is nothing about Doge. But this is everything about what was really on the line Election Day in 24.
Or was it?
And free speech is the bedrock of democracy.
What the fuck? He's turning off right-wing accounts on Twitter if they fuck with him right now.
And if people don't know what's going on, if they don't know the truth, how
Yeah, like all the whether the cuts are real or not, or never mind.
how can you make an informed vote? You must have free speech in order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment. And the Second Amendment is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment.
I read that from an asshole Twitter account. I think it was Jack Pasoba Kirk or somebody. Literally regurgitating tweets.
To preserve the Constitution. He must win to preserve democracy in America.
Yes, and now he's ordering the Marines to an American city, which is a violation of the Constitution. It's this guy's acumen is incredible. It's anyways, blah blah blah. Hold on.
President Trump wants that. That wasn't the focus, right? It was all about saving this country. President Trump has done that. And I don't think...
Yes, we're saved? Oh, well, then he can fuck off, I guess.
Elon Musk has forgotten that. And let's not forget that. How much money did he spend, Elon Musk, getting President Trump elected? Nearly $300 million.
Yeah, but Trump didn't need that. He just said so.
Does he suddenly regret all that? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he does.
I think this was a deliberate schism. And I've seen...
That $288 million is going to cost him several $billion. Unnecessarily. By cutting the EV mandate stuff. And the ability to sell credits. He's going to lose like $3 billion a year from his company just selling the EV credits that they get for their company to other companies for a higher dollar amount than their tax break. They can literally make money on them. It's like the carbon tax. If they were able to, sell carbon credits, they do that with EV credits.
Trump do this before. I'll show you an example in a little bit.
Yes, where he broke it off with Jeffrey Epstein for a couple of years, and then he shows up in the guy's call logs again.
The other reason why I really like Elon Musk, I don't believe a man who thinks like this, what he's about to say here, could be capable of genuinely believing the things he's saying right now on Twitter. That's another thing. Let's face it. This is stuff on Twitter.
He owns the fucking place, dummy.
It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything, potentially.
Oh, wow. And you're going to say that about the man poured some of his leveraged stock money and some Saudi money and Sean P. Diddy Combs' money into buying Twitter, and you say it means nothing?
I think. Check this out.
What are the two ingredients that are really necessary in order to cut the budget?
Oh, yeah, this is when the kid wiped his booger on Trump's desk. Trump had to take the whole desk out to be cleaned.
In half, from 2 trillion to 1 trillion. And it's really two things: competence and caring.
Yeah, neither of that happened. None of this occurred.
If you add competence and caring, you'll cut the budget deficit in half.
So you have not done that, so they do not have that.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing, especially knowing he cut $160 billion worth of stuff and spending actually went up. Holy shit. Like you're saying, if you have competence and caring, then you can cut the budget by $1 trillion. And then the budget went up, the amount of spending went up 220 or now $300 billion this year over last. Shut the
Competence and caring. For him to be worried about those two things, especially the caring part. I have more on why I think that this was deliberate in a second, but let's go to the other theory. Theory number 2. This is a real breakup, and if it is, it...
Okay, this, I gotta be honest, this is the one he truly believes if he's not on the air and not selling. Wait, and theory number 3 has got to be magic.
All Elon's fault. Yes, it is. Because Elon, for all the incredible things that he has done, the space, the satellites, the PayPal, whatever, he doesn't have any real political experience. And when he sits in that cabinet room...
Hey, sorry, asshole. I thought it was business that knew how to run things efficiently, and it was people in Washington and politicians that didn't know shit about how to do anything right. Who gives a fuck if he knows anything about politics? If it's right, it's right. And that, fuck your feelings, Greg.
With some serious heavyweights, some serious intellects.
What? Sorry. You mean Hegseth and Bondi? And fucking Nutlick? Get out of here.
Met his match. Most of these people have more political experience than he does.
No, they don't. None of them do. What are you talking about? I'm dead serious. None of these assholes know any of this shit. They're all new to this. Literally, Marco Rubio's the only one. Okay, I think he's just selling this one.
And that may have been humbling for him.
Yeah, totally. That's why he came back the next day wearing a suit and tie.
Told that there was a very serious argument, blowout even, between Elon Musk and Secretary Sean Duffy, Secretary of Transportation. Now, Elon Musk...
You mean, oh yeah, the political heavyweight from the fucking real world.
Probably never heard of Sean Duffy before.
Right, because he's got so much political experience. He's so high level, you never even knew he was there.
Fully appreciate that Sean Duffy served in the House of Representatives, was a district attorney in Wisconsin, and brought real political chops to the situation. Elon...
What? Dude, planes are falling out of the sky.
In comparison, in many ways, was something of an amateur. Same goes for Elon Musk versus Scott Bessent. The word is these guys had a real raging fight right in the Oval Office, and the president had to side with Scott. Number one, Scott's Senate confirmed. Elon was there on like a work permit, temporary permission slip from somebody. It wasn't...
Temporary government employee.
So...
He just can't, like, end the sentence. And this happened...
permission slip from somebody. It wasn't... So, that's what I think.
This is some massive copium.
I think that he was possible.
We think you're in love, Greg. I gotta be honest. I think I was about to say oxygen deprived again, but I think you're in love. I think this is true. I think it's time that you call Donald and tell him that you want him to be your real dad and you don't want to live with these people anymore.
Intimidated in his own way. And a man who jumps up and down like this doesn't necessarily, I mean, let's face it, Elon's a little bit different. He's got some...
Yeah, he's a little bit different.
He's got some quirks. And he wouldn't be Elon Musk if he didn't have those quirks, right?
Excellent choice of pictures. Okay, so now they've moved into embarrass him phase.
To become a genius like that, you can't be a genius in everything. You can't be that good and really. He's a little bit off, I'm told, in interpersonal skills. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. But if it is a
well, in his defense, for as far as we know, all of his sexual relationships, as skeevy as they might be, are consensual, and he doesn't run around grabbing people by the pussy. So I gotta say, of those two guys, Trump is worse.
breakup, I blame Elon Musk. Sorry. All right, the last.
I don't think he's gonna like it. Okay, what's the last one? Number 3. What do we think number 3 is? Chat room. What do we think? Number 3. It's mutual, and I still blame Elon. Number 3. It's I blame the whole torrid mess on Stephen Miller's wife. I can't wait. I got number 3. What is this is Greg, man. Greg, yes, the title of it is amazing. Greg investigates. Oh, here we go. Greg investigates the Trump-Musk feud. Oh, it's so investigative. Okay, so what's the third one?
Theory is, I actually don't know what the hell's going on.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, God. That's amazing. Oh, God. That's so good. Oh, that's so much for the Trump whisperer. I got to hear that again. Wait.
Musk. Sorry. All right, the last theory is, I actually don't know what the hell's going on. I will say that the tweet initially threw me for a loop when Elon comes out there and raises the whole Epstein thing.
Oh, God. Oh. Actually, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Actually don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, my God. Oh, shit. That's good. I do have the clip, but I don't know where it is. I moved it someplace. Oh, shit. Is it in... Wow, did I put it in that one? I should have put it there. Hold on. God damn. Oh, God. That's amazing. Especially good with the Chiron. I'm gonna die. Oh, shit. Oh, oh, God. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, man. That's amazing. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, God. I know. CSL's like, drop number 2 from one clip. Oh, man. Oh, I almost feel like we should just call it a night. Oh. Oh, my God. Oh, God, that's so good. Oh, that was nice. Chat room, I feel like, ooh, we're gonna walk that one off. Now, in all fairness, none of them have figured it out. We have one that might, I don't think anything, I'm sorry to say, I don't think anybody has the power to top the absolute dipshittery of Greg Kelly. But oh God. Oh. Aidez-moi. All right. I'm all right. Okay. On with the news. This is serious business. Hit the like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. Hashtag Donald Trump. All right. Okay. I'm back. I'm okay. Yeah, it's blending in with my shirt. My face turned beet red. Oh, God. That was so fucking funny. This, I gotta say, I'm gonna transition to this next face, and it makes me laugh almost as much as that clip. I'm just gonna say, and right now we're on a roll. This is like what is it? Finnery? What's his name? Yeah, Rob Finnerty. Like, Rob, you have to do this news story about Elon Musk and what he said. This is Musk's tantrum versus Trump's legacy. I wonder how this is going to go down. Oh, God.
I have been thinking about this all day, thought about it last night. Elon Musk gave up a lot to endorse Donald Trump, to work for Donald Trump. In literal terms, he gave up billions of dollars.
He literally didn't. It's his actions that did that. It had nothing to do with the fact that he went to work for Trump. It's good he was also did a Nazi salute and was trying to like pass along passive eugenics laws.
Also gave up any chance he had left to ever get back in with what we used to call the in crowd, the political establishment in this.
He means me. Rob, that's very sweet of you to think of that. But yeah, I got enough friends, man.
Country. But that part of the story began when Elon bought Twitter. 2 years before Butler, Pennsylvania, 2 years before he ever endorsed Donald Trump. The point.
How could it all go so wrong? How could we ever fall so far? Watch it, Tonys. I'm coming for you.
Making is don't feel bad for Elon Musk. The richest man in human history is going to be just fine. Elon gave up a lot.
Hey! I still got more money than you'll ever be able to spend in 1,000 lifetimes. Hey!
Country owes him something for what he did over the last.
No, we don't. He's in an optional business. No, there are other electric cars to buy. Fuck right off.
Months for what?
I'm on Blue Sky. I don't need X.
Exposed. No one knew what USAID was doing before Elon and Doe.
And now we know that they were saving lives, and they've basically stopped.
Will live on. Does Donald Trump lose the election in November without Elon Musk endorsing him? Without the financial backing? There's no way of knowing, but it would have been closer. I can guarantee you that. It would have been closer. Kamala could have won. There's no question about it. And anyone...
Well, don't write off all the uncommitteds and the assholes who didn't vote, who are now standing in the fucking freeway in Los Angeles going, what, I didn't vote for this. Yeah, you did.
Disagrees with that is just not being honest with themselves. Elon Musk made a difference in the 2024 election in the House and the Senate as well. But on the other side, Donald Trump is and always has been transactional. He's 79 years old. He's president of the United States again. Real power. And he achieved his one remaining goal. After everything they put him through, Donald Trump...
He replaced Melania with a robot?
...is back in the White House. So now, what does he care? Seriously. He got...
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Sorry. That caught me off guard. I didn't think he was going to be in this like that fully, but that was a righteous nunting that we just saw right there. So I apologize. Woof.
Needed out of Elon. Welcome to politics. Welcome to politics, where it's
Yeah, okay, where there's the real stuff happens, even though we shit on Washington all the time.
show friends, it's show business. And Donald Trump has always been show business. We
Wrong town, dummy.
covered every second of every day of the 2024 campaign, and we have covered every second of Donald Trump's presidency, and never once could we find an instance where Donald Trump publicly promised Elon Musk anything. In fact, it looks like it's
Oh, damn. Get it in writing, motherfucker.
the opposite.
I don't care. I don't need Elon for anything other than I happen to like him. People leave my administration
Well, this is what he's saying now, dumb fuck.
and they love us. And then at some point they miss it so badly, and some of them embrace it and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it.
Yeah, that's what they call it. It's when Trump derangement syndrome is apparently when people realize that they've been lying on Trump's behalf this entire time, and they're concerned that they're now on the outs, and they've been protecting him from secrets that they know, and now they have no reason to do that anymore because he's going to throw them under the bus or call them a Democrat or get them killed or something.
Look, Elon Musk is a big boy. And if this really is all about the EV mandate, that's just too bad. Worse than that,
Tough shit, business guy. DC's where the real power is.
what we just witnessed on Twitter was a temper tantrum from a 53-year-old who's used to getting his way like all the time, every second of every minute of every hour of every day. Not only that, but Elon Musk also told the world this in 2021 on Saturday Night Live, and it's getting no attention.
I'm actually making history tonight as the first person with Asperger's to host SNL.
Yeah. What does him having Asperger's or not having Asperger's have anything to do with the fact that Trump is in the Epstein files?
Or at least the first to admit it. So I won't make a lot of eye contact with the cast tonight. But don't worry, I'm pretty good at running human in emulation mode.
We've got Dr. Drew Pinsky joining us in just a
Oh, okay, so you're really going to fuck this up.
couple minutes to talk about how that might have played a role in what we've witnessed from Elon over the past couple days. All the tweets, odd stuff. But we want to cover this story.
Not odd at all. That's not odd. That's a fact.
Honestly, and we want to make sure that we are covering all of the story, and that is part of the story. It might be an uncomfortable part of the story, but that is part of this story.
Yeah, but it's not as important as whether or not what he says is factual or not.
The tweet from Elon Musk at 3:21 p.m. yesterday afternoon, also part of the story. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Elon lost a lot of friends with that post. In fact, he probably...
Again, why? Why? Are they protecting Trump from the fact that he's in the Epstein files? I mean, did he lose a lot of Epstein's friends, like Alan Dershowitz?
Some enemies. Because at the beginning and end of the day, Elon is just nowhere near as popular and as beloved as Donald Trump by millions.
Oh, Joy, thank you.
Of Americans. That's just a fact.
Yeah, it's just a fact. And millions of Americans are willing to just put aside the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, and they didn't want an electric car anyways.
$500 billion just doesn't change that for Elon Musk. As for the post itself, look, it could be true. That would certainly explain why Pam Bondi and the FBI have been so skittish around answering the question and releasing the information. But if it...
Ooh, watch it there, flying close to the sun. If it was there, why didn't the Democrats release it?
It's true. Why didn't Merrick Garland or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris leak it out at any time over the...
Because some of the stuff might not be criminal, but it would be... they could certainly use it to expose him. There's no question that had they leaked it out, it would have been damaging, but they could have pretended it was fake, pretended it was deep fake. It would have, if it came out that they had actually done it, it would They have to do it through channels. They were actually transparent about that stuff. It'd be hard to hide that they leaked this information selectively. It would draw attention to like, oh, they're releasing that probably to hide for other Democrats, and they have to release everything, and then they can, they know they can't, and all that kind of stuff. Same thing that we'll see with Bongholio in a moment.
4 years. Even if the names are...
By the way, yeah, when I'm president, we will release all of it. The only thing redacted will be details about the victims themselves as human beings.
Prominent Democrats were in there too. Who cares? This could be bigger than the laptop.
What laptop? You mean the one you've never actually laid eyes on?
And they didn't tell us anything about it. But for years, they did tell us that Donald Trump was Hitler.
One side stands for freedom, while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany.
The term vermin was really effectively used by Adolf Hitler and by Mussolini.
Trump actually reenacting the Madison Square Garden.
I gotta say, like, all this is just people describing why you would come to the conclusion that he wants to be Hitler. Besides the fact that he had a copy of Hitler's speeches. It wasn't actually Mein Kampf. It was apparently Hitler's speeches on his nightstand.
Alley in 1939.
Like he reads.
So I don't understand it at this point. If Donald Trump is in fact in the Epstein files, Elon, wouldn't it be worth bringing down some has-been Democrat or some donor if it meant keeping another Hitler from taking office? We think so. It never happened. And here we are now.
Well, granted, you have to understand that Epstein was arrested and Little St. James Island was raided while Trump was president. So maybe he hid the stuff. Maybe they were trying to find it or trying to get access to it. And maybe it was just dumped into the sea. Anything that was related to Trump was burned off. But it was also created gaps in the stuff that are quite obvious. But it might look like they scooped stuff out so they didn't release it. Whereas Trump will just release stuff that's, you know, if there are big gaps in it, they'll have Bongholio and Kash Patel say, oh, well, we had to redact that because that was victims.
But it never leaked out. And it never leaked out because Elon Musk has no idea what he's talking about.
Well, on one end, that we might agree, but mostly in regard to AI. Can I show you guys something? This is the stuff that was collected. Let's see if I can bring this up a little bit. It's hard because it's a PDF. This is the stuff that was collected from the Little St. James Island raid while Donald Trump was president. Never mind this one CD labeled Girl Picks Nude Book 4. The red rope containers are those legal folders with the flap over the top that you tie with a red string. The expandable, contractable files. Okay. One peach massage table, a green massage table, a beige massage, and a brown massage table. So you had them in all over the island. One flat box containing a large frame photo, blah, blah, blah. Then we get down to HP tower, a Lenovo tower, a Mac desktop, an HP tower, an HP desktop, a silver Mac desktop, a 6-bay with 146 gigabyte hard drives, like a RAID, basically. A box containing a Panasonic, I believe that's a camera. HP server, blueprints. There's this other. There's one server, a video server. This is probably in the security room. A cloud key, the cellophane containing Olympus digital voice recorder. So it was like sealed in there. These are all the things that were found that are allegedly Pam Bondi is going through. Let's see, red rope with a photo album of a girl in Epstein, a red rope containing a letter photo album of girls, photos of the island, one cellophane containing documents with names, a silver Mac desktop. There's a silver iPad, there's two space gray iPads, a Radio Shack recorder, an Olympus recorder. Like he wrapped these recording devices in cellophane. I don't know quite why. 45 CDs in this one particular box. A red rope containing a Sony Vaio laptop. There was a red rope containing a Sony Vaio laptop, a Dell Precision Tower. Another one with a Seagate Barracuda 80 gig drive in it. And then there's all these where are these? Yeah, these like thumb drives. One cellophane containing a Seagate Pathway. It looks like 100 gigabyte hard drives, all just individual ones, like he's mailing them out. One box containing a stuffed dog, which I don't know what the fuck that's about. And then there's like some artwork and that kind of thing. This one's the big one, obviously focused on the red rope containing vibrator, 3 butt plugs, 1 set of handcuffs, a dildo, a leash, a box of condoms, a nurse cap, a stethoscope. This other box had it must be a rather big butt plug because it was in this one red rope. Framed photos of naked females, a set of copper handcuffs, and a whip. There was a photo depicting 2 girls, cash disbursements, another handwritten note, Epstein letterhead, page-type letter, all throughout here. There you go. Court authorized intercept document, a red notebook, 10 photographs, 17 miscellaneous financial documents, not malicious documents, although I don't know whether it's in them. They probably get. So, yeah, only 1 dildo. Well, I mean, maybe he just rotated. Yeah. So, and there's the item number for all of those things. So I would suggest, if I could, this is on justice.gov's website, by the way. This is not me just finding shit on the internet. That's on justice.gov. So this is a list that Pam Bondi has access to. So here's what I would suggest reporters who want to talk about this. Ask her about items in particular. When will you release, and I think this is pick one of the hard drives that's in here. Like, when can you release the contents of the silver iPads, the kitchen Mac, Let's just go to one of these. How about items 1852 to 1846 on here? When will you release the contents of those drives? When can we expect to see 1852, 1851, or 1850? Just ask that. Reporters, just ask that. Item number 18 was a 32 gigabyte thumb drive. What's on it? Do you know? Can you catalog what's on it? You don't have to show what's on it, but can you put a list of what documents or videos or the names of the videos or anything, right? When will we know that, right? Just ask that. Stop asking about the list that may not be a list at all. Stop asking about these abstract files. You have a list of what's in these things. Ask what's on them. And if you find somebody saying if they are not erased, I agree. But let's say they have to go, well, it turned out these were all erased. Let them deal with that hinky shit. Right? This is this is a solution I would offer. This is what I would say to everybody. You've got a list of this stuff. You know Pam Bondi has a list of these items. They are allegedly in custody. Right? And right, Elon has all of them. Well, that's where we get to the point where why would he tiptoe around Elon Musk? Because copying all these things would be a priority if you were somebody in Trump's position, wouldn't you? Red Rope is one of these file boxes like you see lawyers have that accordion out, and then they have a flap over the top and they tie them up. Hold on, I'll show you. Wait, 1 second. Red. Whoops. Rope envelope. Quit. Rope envelope. Yeah. So, what you'll see is, these guys. This is basically what we're talking about. These kind of accordion, like red rope. That's what these are considered. These are called red ropes. This kind of stuff. There's varying versions of them. There's varying degrees of what you'll see, but a lot of them are like this. These expanding wallet kind of things. This would be a red rope. This would be considered a red rope. Yeah, Pendaflex, red rope expanding thing, whatever. There you go. So now you know. And so they have a ton of these things with all kinds of shit in them, specifically. So they have one where he just collected thumb drives or hard drives in them. Some of them were individual, like he was having them sent out on the regular. He might have been distributing child porn for all we know. And so each of these was sent out to a client that liked that kind of stuff, and he would send them stuff like that. right? Manually, physically. Okay. Can I show you guys something else too while we're on the subject of these guys dodging this shit like crazy? There are, let's see if I can, whoops, shit. Did I open the wrong one? No, here we go. All right. Yeah. So there was a company called, I believe, Need Digital. And, yeah. Let's see. I'm going to expand this up so you guys can see it. And then I'll put it in reader mode. Yeah. So, there was a data broker that tracks people's private phone movements, okay? And what they do is they see where you travel and where you shop and all that kind of stuff. And they use your location data and your whether you have ad blocker on or any of that kind of stuff. And they track your phone. And they can be used to geofence certain areas. So Ron Wyden had a problem with this particular company because a right-winger had basically hired them or had paid for the service to geofence abortion clinics to see what phones came and went from those places as one of the ways they were going to track women who had had abortions or doctors or staff who worked there, and to find where they lived and stuff. So there was this rule about, and there are huge rules about in Europe about using this kind of stuff, but America's fairly lax, okay? So Wyden was coming up against this country and this company, and it filed for bankruptcy, I want to say in like maybe 2021, something like that. But at some point, somebody used this service, and I'll see if I can find, do they have the pictures in here? They should. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, okay, why is it not in that one? So they tracked, these are areas where phones went from Trump's, let's see if I can bring this in here, yeah. So this is Little St. James Island, okay, right here. Near intelligence tracked where visitors were observed 30 minutes before and after spending time on Little St. James. The resulting data shows the path visitors took to the island. Now, a lot of stuff has been said that a lot of people never took the plane. I've never flown to Epstein's island. You'll hear a lot of that from people. That's because most of them flew into St. Thomas. The airport, this is the dock at St. Thomas that Jeffrey Epstein owned. So Jeffrey Epstein owned an enormous marina in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. And then he owned this Little St. James. This is Greater St. James or Big St. James. This is the other island. Guess what? He also owned that one. He just wrecked the reef there, so he wasn't allowed to build on it. He was going to do this big resort there, and he got in trouble for zoning reasons, so he never got around to it, and then he got busted and all that shit happened. But this is his home island, and then he was going to turn this into a resort. Since, by the way, his death, another person bought this for $60 million for both of them and is building a resort on the big one and a little sub thing on it. But yeah. But this is why when people go, I never flew to the island, because they didn't. Almost no one flew to the island unless they took the helicopter. If you flew in, you flew to St. Thomas. So the follow-up is, have you ever flown to St. Thomas? Cool. Have you ever taken a boat when you were in St. Thomas to one of the other islands? What island would that be? Okay, so you get where I'm going. So they would come over, and then sometimes they would circle through and look at the bay here, and there would be this fishing hangout, yachting parked in this cove area here was more than likely what they did to do whatever awful. And then they would go down and spend time or go to the party at or go and do the same thing on their way back. But this is Little St. James. This is how people got there. They did not fly directly into the island, ever. So when people say, did they take the Lolita Express to go to Little St. James? No, they flew into St. Thomas. And this is one of the most important things when people are talking about this, because it allows them to have deniability. No, I never flew to the island. I never flew to it. Like Trump says, I never flew to his stupid island, right? Because nobody did. The only people that did were the people who took the helicopter. And even then, when you go, well, I took a helicopter ride over there, but that's different, right? You could tell. It's like, it's how they lie around it. Okay? So this is that company that that tracked that information. And then when they tracked it back to the United States, these were the primary areas where those visitors came from. And this was just over a short period of time for like, I think, whatever, just a few months even. Let's see. Well, many of the coordinates captured near point to multi-million-dollar homes in numerous U.S. states. The others point to lower-income areas where Epstein victims are known to have lived and attended school. So it not only tracks, if you look at this, who was taken, but like the rich people's houses and the girls that were taken from nearby, area around West Palm Beach that he would fly down there. So let me state this unequivocally as much as I can, and I want this to be locked into everyone's mind when you're talking about this stuff. That anybody who says did they fly to the island? They never, or did they ever fly to the island? Has this person? I never flew to the island. They deny about that. Nobody flew to the island. They flew to St. Thomas and they took a boat or a helicopter to the island. And if they say helicopter, they're going to lie about that. Most people took a boat. Ghislaine Maxwell was a helicopter pilot. She and Epstein would fly back and forth. Most people wanted to take the boat because it's safer and whatever. Nobody wants to die in a helicopter crash on your way to Little St. James. So that was one of the reasons. They all took the boat. And he owned, again, Epstein owned a, let's see if I can find this real quick. He owned yeah, see if I can find this. Put this, okay. So, yeah, here you go. This is from a report Wired did years ago. But this is the Cyril King Airport where these guys went from. And then they would go, where is it? Dink. Yeah. So they would stay at the Ritz-Carlton, a lot of people, and then they would leave from this dock. This is the dock. Okay? This is the port that people took boats to Epstein's Island. They did not fly. So anybody who tries to dodge by saying I never flew to his island, they're bullshitting you. That doesn't mean they didn't go. And if you go, did you ever fly to St. Thomas? Like, oh yes, it's beautiful. All right. Did you ever take a boat from there to Jeffrey Epstein's island? Would it be surprising to you if the cameras on the corner of this building had images of you, or there were cell phone tracking data that put you in the restaurant there on the boat in the harbor of Big St. James and then at the other island? That's when you'd start to see a lot of flop sweat and people calling their lawyers. So, real quick, just to be clear, almost no one flew to the island. They flew to St. Thomas. They took a boat. They took a boat from a marina that was owned by Jeffrey Epstein. So, who came and went from it was up to him to tell people to list. There are no boat flight logs. Nobody cares. That's one of the reasons people flew into St. Thomas. Nobody cares if you fly to St. Thomas. It's a tourist destination. Who wouldn't want to go? So the defense that you will see from a bunch of these assholes falls apart rather quickly. Also, one of the biggest, I would argue, the biggest dump of Epstein stuff that I've been able to find, this stuff in particular, when was this stuff released? Was this released by Pam Bondi? This was released by the Biden Justice Department after the Ghislaine Maxwell victory in court. They started releasing stuff after she had been found guilty so that they could not say, well, they muddied the water and they threw all this evidence out there and she would get away with it. They were worried that she would get away with it, that she wouldn't go to jail. Hal, I'd be scared if I was your enemy. Yes, you should be. This was released by the Biden administration. And they chose to do it when they chose to do it because Ghislaine Maxwell had already been found guilty. And so they could without jeopardizing the case. And somebody said, actually, there are captain's logs. Yeah, but it's up to you if you keep them for real. They're unlike airplanes, the FAA, they so don't give a shit until it's over. Because you can transport somebody from one port to another, but you don't have to report who's on there legitimately unless you're going to count them as insurance when it fucking sinks. But this stuff came out under the Biden administration. This was what they were starting to do. And the idea was in the second term, then they would start rolling this stuff out after Ghislaine is gone to jail. She is appealing her conviction. So that's what's held up some of the other stuff as well. So they can't release this stuff without jeopardizing her appeal and making it easier for her to get out, is the theory. So I this idea that they're like, he doesn't know anything. They don't have anything on Donald Trump. Bullshit.
Elon Musk had a temper tantrum yesterday, and he went from being, in many ways, the conscience of MAGA to losing a whole lot of MAGA.
Oh, no. He's low on MAGA? Has anyone checked his MAGA levels?
I also think it's worth pointing out that this is the first crisis of Trump 2.0, and it's not really a crisis. It's a falling out.
It kind of is when the richest person in the world tells everybody you're a pedophile on his privately owned social media network. Oh, by the way, you're right, though, in terms of whether it charts as a crisis. I would argue that the Signal Gate is way fucking worse and endangered the lives of our soldiers, but you guys don't give a shit about that anymore.
A boss and a former employee. Compare that to what we just went through with Joe Biden for 4 years. Donald Trump arguing with...
Oh, you mean passing an infrastructure bill and a rescue plan and rising wages and falling unemployment to the lowest level that we've had in, 60 years? That part? Getting lead pipes out of our drinking water and drinking water systems all over the country and that kind of stuff? Certainly didn't have any fucking riots.
Versus the media, Jake Tapper, and every prominent Democrat in Washington covering up a president with dementia and cancer. But on the
simmer down, it's prostate cancer. He'll survive it.
other side of that, it's really sad that it actually reached this point. Joe Biden's been out of office for almost 5 months, and
and you guys are still trying to cover for Trump's friendship with Epstein with stories about it.
Not a single prominent member of his staff or his family has come out and really thrown Joe Biden under the bus. Nothing.
Maybe that's because he's an honorable man, even with his difficulties. And secondly, maybe it's not as bad as you thought it was.
Really, nothing at all. But just a couple days after being one of the most important pieces of this new administration, Elon Musk does this and then tries to hurt Donald Trump with the Jeffrey Epstein news. That's...
How dare he? He tried to hurt him?
Sad.
It is sad. It's super sad. Guys, it's like so sad.
I also think that part of this story might get back to what we mentioned earlier, that no one seems to want to talk about.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
So does this mean it's over for Trump and Musk? No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think
Donald Trump is the most practical politician in American history, meaning this too will probably pass.
Like a kidney stone. Ow, 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 plunk. This too shall pass. The Sorrow at Newsmax on the Lifetime channel. Fridays at whatever, it doesn't really matter anymore. Why do I even care? Where'd he go? Sorry. There was hope for a moment, just for a fleeting moment. All right. Now, I've been worried about how they're going to break down this feud anywhere else, but we got the ladies on it. You've heard of her take, but what about Megan Scaly and her lady friends who are having a little coffee clatch, breaking down the feud? Did Elon Musk fly too close to the sun with Trump? Breaking down the feud with Red Scare. I don't know. This is Red Scare, these ladies, I guess. Here we go.
What do you guys make of the Elon Trump Mean Girls dust up?
Oh my God, did you just say Mean Girls in front of us? What the hell?
I was begging and pleading with my friends in the group chat this morning to give me like a summary of the bill. The bill sounds good overall. I'm sure with like big bills like that, there's always some filler. I think.
Yeah, that's what he was mad about, was the filler.
He flew too close to the sun. He like overestimated his power.
Elon.
Yeah, because I think like he is a guy who, you know, we have to be grateful to Elon because
we do. Yes, hallowed be his name. Praise be.
He did buy Twitter. He was a top donor to the Trump campaign. I think.
Right, so it's all about the money. I see. So we should be thankful that he did flow his bounty down upon us.
Said Trump wouldn't have won without him.
Yeah.
Now you're really playing with fire.
Well, that was the crazy part because I think he really did, for example, move the needle in getting a lot of the other tech moguls like Bezos and Zuckerberg to come around to the right more. But when he's talking, when he's like going on,
You're like, you know, it's going well when they're like literally just having fucking vodka, just having martinis. Well, shit.
Computer and talking about that Trump should exercise a little bit more gratitude. He sounds like an ungrateful immigrant.
Right. He said so ungrateful.
Yipe. I think he is, actually. I think technically he is, if you want to really nail it, say he is an ungrateful immigrant, sure.
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was.
He seems like a scorned lover.
Yeah. You're at risk of seeming like a bitter ex.
Yeah.
I mean, there's part of me, because I have a little bit of a paranoid streak that thinks it's all a little bit of theater and kayfabe, perhaps. That.
Oh my God, Greg, Kelly, we found the girl for you.
What do you mean kayfabe? What is that?
Like from wrestling, where they like are kind of stunting.
Okay.
But they.
Oh, sorry, Megyn Kelly doesn't know wrestling. Hers is a faux populism.
Everyone knows that it's fake.
Trump's always doing a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if I feel like Elon, he's erratic.
Very much so.
And so I feel like he probably did feel attacked when they yanked his NASA nominee. He didn't like that. He reportedly almost came to blows with Scott Bessent over who was going to head up the IRS.
Look at them. This is news to them. I'm so glad they're on, because then you're getting a real take. This is the first time they're hearing this detail, which is like a month and a half old.
Elon wanted that whistleblower. He's a good man, Gary Shapley, who was one of the ones who blew the whistle on how they were slow rolling the investigation into Hunter Biden.
Who would have fucked up the entire investigation into Hunter Biden?
That Joe Biden DOJ was not letting him and his team of investigators actually figure out what Hunter did in time for a criminal case to be brought. So he's a heroic man, in my view. And Elon reportedly was behind him as the head of IRS, but Scott Bessent didn't want him. He wanted, as Scott Bessent is at Treasury, obviously the IRS is under his purview ultimately, and he wanted his own guy. And reportedly they almost came to actual blows in the White House.
Oh my God. What? I'm going to need another martini, huh?
So I think Elon he's got an explosive temper.
Yeah.
And he was
clearly
that his NASA proposal guy, who was well on his way to getting chosen and confirmed, got yanked because OMB decided it wasn't the right guy, and the guy was actually a Democrat.
What? He brought in a Democrat. Oh my God.
Shapiro and I were talking about it a little bit. I think Elon didn't appreciate that. And I think Elon genuinely does hate the big, beautiful bill. He thinks it's too
yeah, he wants a slim bill.
He does. I've thought about this for a while. Excuse me 1 second. Where's this gonna have a check right now? Yeah. No, can I get my dessert? Yes, my slice of giant sad chocolate cake to go so I can sorrow eat it? Thank you. Thank you. that in the thank you.
Yeah, he says slim and beautiful.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really like about deficit
Cheers.
spending.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, cheers. And someone said slim. Cheers. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, the
You
deficit.
don't think it's about deficit spending?
Where's not for him. Like people are saying, it's about the NASA appointee, the EV mandates, and so on and so forth.
Jesus Christ. This is like the Marie Antoinette having cocktails. Welcome to Who Gives a Let Them Eat Cake, starring Megyn Kelly. Let them drink martinis if they don't have clean drinking water.
I think that he just really
Yeah, this is like a SNL skit.
Related his role in the administration, his place in the organization, his place in the cosmos, because he's obviously a very smart guy who's a little bit autistic and retarded, and I think he.
Wow. Yeah, a little bit? You're just going to throw that around, just a little bit of that?
The classic error where he thinks because he's.
This is Megyn Kelly's show with these two guests on who have a show called Red Scare, or they call themselves Red. I don't know.
Like, you know, not some, but a great deal of success.
By the way, we'll skip on because this isn't going to be interesting. But can I say for the record, do you think these assholes thought 5 months ago that they would be drinking on the job while talking about the fact that Elon Musk dropped the Epstein bomb on Donald Trump, and they were like, we can patch it up. Yeah. It's kind of magical. That's Megyn Kelly and Red Scare. You guys remember Kennedy from MTV? I do. We're all us baby boomers, very sad about the lady who was there. This is why Elon Musk is in the worst position possible. Sounds bad.
First buddy Elon Musk has essentially been excommunicated from Trump Nation. And the president today was meeting with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. And
I swear to God, she looks like a very unused Snapchat filter. Like, this looks like a character.
a bilateral press conference in the Oval Office, or whatever the hell that little room is called, with the two chairs, and then the couch with Marco Rubio and Scott Bessent and everyone else. So, yeah, they were sitting there, Friedrich Merz, or as Joe Biden referred to him, as Gerhard Schroeder. Yeah, it didn't end well when Trump was asked about Elon, and the big rift comes over after the big, beautiful bill. Musk says that he was never shown the bill. It was passed in the dead of night when most people in Congress couldn't even read it. And
all true.
It, to him, is the great undoing of so much of the great work at DOGE, which was meant to pay.
God damn, this just feels like filler. Is it just me, or is this like someone just trying to maybe I can just talk myself to the break? Maybe I've just seen too much fucking Glenn Beck, but this is like, okay, break comes up in 7 minutes. If I just keep yammering, I'll get there.
Down the size and scope of government and root out fraud, waste, and abuse. And, they had very, very big aims and, essentially made a recommendation in the rescission.
Is this the white version of Diamond and Silk? Yeah, we should put Kennedy with Silk. Just do Kennedy and Silk at this point. They both love it.
Package that the president sent to Congress, which really only totaled $9.5 billion in cuts after a promised $1 trillion. I'm still very confident that they can cut $1 trillion from spending at the federal level.
Based on what?
That shouldn't be too hard to do, but
okay, so everybody sucks. If it shouldn't be too hard to do, why haven't they done it already? Yes, that's fucking Kennedy.
Is a nasty, swampish hellhole, and Elon learned that.
By the way, no, it isn't. No, it's not. It's not. Sorry, it's just complicated. They represent a lot of different interests a lot across the country, from rural to urban, to rich to poor, to redneck to Ivy League. There's a spectrum of humans in this country and a broad, diverse populace, and you need complicated shit to make it all work. And so walking in there and saying it should just be a turnkey solution is stupid. And so people are like, it's sloppy. That just means you don't understand it.
Can't. Because at first, because of his the amount of money that he gave to President Trump during the election, and because of the influence that he had in the White House and within the administration after Trump was reelected, he became the poster child of evil for the left. Trump was asked if it has been a falling out, and he said that he didn't know if he and Elon would ever be friends again.
Oh my God. He said that? Oh no.
Of Elon's criticism of a bill that is so important to the president, that he named it the Triple B, the big, beautiful bill. And Elon has taken umbrage with that, saying it can be big and ugly or slim and beautiful. It can't be both. And he said slim and beautiful is the way to go. I could not agree more. You have to cut the size of the federal government. Elon Musk, you can say whatever you want about him and his personal life, but
okay, he's a ketamine-fueled asshole with no regard for anybody that doesn't care. We wouldn't even be talking about him if in 2009 Obama hadn't saved the auto industry by adding EV stuff to it.
He has a better sense of how to cut things in order to make them run more efficiently. He did it at X.
Yes, he cut it so much that they haven't made a profit since he took over.
Going to do that with Doge, and
apparently not.
For whatever reason, maybe it's because he criticized Peter Navarro for.
That's what it was. That's the line. You do not cross. You do not criticize Peter Navarro, the guy that Trump himself removed from doing the television circuit because he was fucking up all the conversations about the tariffs.
His ridiculous view on tariffs that the president has fallen in love with. But now there is this great rift between the two. I was talking to Thomas Massie, the Republican congressman from Kentucky, who is also a big fan of cost cutting. And he said that Elon went to Washington knowing that he was going to be unpopular, knowing that it would be bad for his bottom line, but he did it anyway because he was putting the country above his own financial needs because, arguably, he's probably got enough money. But now Elon Musk is, he's in the worst position possible because the left has already tried to cancel him. They're no longer buying Teslas. And now the right
never were gonna buy Teslas and hated the idea and think electric cars are gay. Sorry, you were saying he's a master businessman or something.
Is going to side with the president, is going to turn on Elon, and he really is a man without a country at this point.
You can always go back to South Africa, I guess.
And it's a shame. It's not the way it has to be. You know, even when you are not as close as you once were to a relationship or to an administration.
Yeah, you can still hide in the bushes and stare through their window.
Doesn't mean you have to have bad feelings and a giant public spat. But
kind of does, I think, actually.
You know, that is in the makeup of these two gentlemen. They are both emotional. They're both very, very verbal, especially.
Sorry, I thought that was why we couldn't have a female president. What are you talking about?
When they have been aggrieved, when they feel attacked. So now they are attacking each other, and it's going to metastasize, and it is going to get ugly.
Going to?
Again, the advice from Thomas Massie was that Elon Musk should be investing in primary races if he's going to stay in politics, and he should stay out of general elections. So who knows if Trump would have won without Elon's money? The point is...
I do.
is he's the president now, and I think the responsibility rests with him to mend this fence, take the good work that Elon was going to do and move forward with it. And just because they have a disagreement on this piece of legislation, it doesn't mean that either of them are bad people. And they're both smart enough to overcome this. But sometimes intelligence is really secondary to emotion. And I think the brute force of their emotion and their desire to make their feelings public, that is going to be something that's the only thing people will be talking about, which...
Again, I thought... Bye, Kennedy. I thought that's why we couldn't have Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris as president, because women are too emotional and they'll have these spats and they won't be able to forgive, and what the hell. All right, next up, real quick, if I may, let's see, I'll leap to this. Here, I want to know the backstory, don't you? And I think it's important to go to the backstory directly to the person who probably knows the least about it, and that would be we haven't checked in on Glenn in a bit because he's been on the road. He went and sucked up to Trump and did that interview with him, and then he's been hopping around stations. He hasn't been back wherever they were. I always thought their studio was in Utah, but apparently he's in Texas now. That's where the studio is. And imagine being everybody on the blaze that works in the studio with him. If he moves, you move. Ugh.
In chronological order, this is what happened.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes, tell us.
Elon had been calling to kill the big, beautiful bill.
Okay, that's where it started. Actually, that's about 5 things in. It started well before that with the fight with Besant and the fight over his NASA head, and then this was even before the bill came out.
So, first thing yesterday, Trump is responding to Elon's criticism. Here it is. Listen.
Thank you, Mr. President. The criticism that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, regarding Elon Musk and your big, beautiful bill, what's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the Senate, which, of course, what is you're seeking?
Well, look, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible.
Yeah, this is also the clip before. Yeah.
It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I should have warned everybody. Yeah, there's a decent amount of nunting, I would guess, in this. Yeah, so just consider yourself warned.
It's the biggest tax cut. You would say people's taxes will go way down, but it's the biggest tax cut in history.
No, it isn't. It just keeps them where they are.
We are doing things in that bill that are unbelievable.
So Russ Vogt, by the way, is going to be on with us here in about 30 minutes.
Fabulous.
Oh, that was the first thing. And I think that's really mild. I mean, he's just responding.
Yeah, that was before the Epstein drop.
To Elon's criticisms. Look, I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill because
It was also before Trump said maybe I should just take away his billions of dollars in subsidies.
Be on it, blah, blah, blah. And then...
Which, by the way, Trump said before the Epstein thing.
Elon responds, whatever. Keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But
very unfair. Double exclamation
point. It's the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there has never been legislation that was both big and beautiful, and everyone knows this. Either you get a big and ugly bill or a slim and beautiful bill. Slim and beautiful is the way. Then, Elon re-upped a bunch of old Trump tweets where he denounced raising the debt limit, and then he made a poll. Is it time to create a new...
Why aren't you going to show those, Glenn? Why don't you show the ones where he was like, we can't raise the debt ceiling. Republicans should be ashamed of themselves if they raise the debt ceiling. We can't take on this debt. Why not show those? Why jump straight to the polling part that makes Elon look like a dick if you don't take into consideration what he was complaining about?
Political party in America that actually...
Karen says Thursday or Friday. Thursday would be the thing. Yeah, Thursday. Thanks, Andrea.
Presents 80% in the middle, yes or no. By this point, now Trump, who is showing tremendous restraint, has to respond. He writes, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took
I beg your pardon. Sorry, Andrea. Friday is better because I'm in town for the Queer as Folk thing on Thursday. Friday would be better.
his EV mandate that forced everybody to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted. He knew that for months that I was going to do this, and he just went crazy. Then he writes, the easiest way to save...
Which I would argue is a major ratchet up. Like, if you didn't know the Epstein thing was coming, which had, you know, again, we always look at these as past being prologue, but, you know, where everything in hindsight is 2020. But in this thing, like where he goes to, I'm going to cut his shit. Well, he gets to it next.
Money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, this one. Once this happens, this is huge. This is a giant fuck you, considering what the guy had done and Trump's relationship to him and how everybody felt about him, right? This is the big ratchet up. The Epstein stuff is, I mean, like, how about I take away billions of dollars from your fucking companies, buddy? And it's like, oh yeah, well, you're in the Epstein files. Like that, it makes a lot more sense. It doesn't seem quite like as emotional, quote unquote, from Elon Musk as when Trump's threatening him and his employees with billions of dollars of lost revenue.
Is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Me too. Well, Elon...
By the way, somebody's saying Glenn Beck's lost his white his ice cream microphone, his white microphone. He's on the road. This is at a local station. I think it's probably one of the I don't know, whatever network he's on that carries one of you know, this happens a lot. I used to do this when I was out on the road before I had the ability to do my show just on a laptop. I would always have to find a station to be able to patch into WCPT when I was on the road doing stand-up.
Responded by threatening to decommission his space.
It's the bunker. Yes, it's his ice cream. It's his dreamsicle. I guess the dreamsicle style room in his bunker. Yeah.
SpaceX Dragon spacecraft.
Is he on the fat shot? No question. He and Stu are both on the fat shot. There's no way either of them aren't on Ozempic.
He says, in light of President's statement about cancellation of my government contract, SpaceX will be decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Now this is crazy. This is crazy.
This is crazy. Okay.
Then
did Halliburton get us back on the chat? What do you mean? Yes, Coretta, you're on the chat. I see you. If that's what you mean.
After he lost a lot of people on this, he writes, time to drop the really big bomb.
Oh dear. Good.
Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. DJT. Why would he do this? Why would he do this?
I know.
We need to rebuild.
Oh, I know. You might want to go to commercial, but I know why. I know why he would do this. Because Trump is in the Epstein files, and he just threatened to take billions of dollars from him. So he's like, oh yeah, well, fuck you. That would be my guess.
Purchase. That's American-Giant.com/Glenn.
Elon says, mark this post for the future because the truth will come out. Now, Trump, again, who I think was pretty restrained all day compared to Elon Musk. I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of...
Yeah, I kind of agree, but he can't because he's awful. What Queer as Folk think? So there's a reunion on Thursday as part of the Pride events in Hollywood. So I'm going to LA to do that. I got to drive in Wednesday night and do it and then come back.
Greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax
Blah,
increase.
blah, blah, blah.
Things
Blah,
get
blah.
far worse than that. Greatness, make America great again. After that, everybody starts to calm down.
No, they don't. After a giant nuclear explosion, everybody just hunkers in the bunker for a while, dummy.
A little bit. Do you happen to have the Linda Yaccarino and David Sachs tweet? Because they both kind of stand up for the big, beautiful bill and saying it needs to pass. Now, Yaccarino is what? She's a CEO, isn't she? Or is she the president of
I think CEO.
Of X.
Mm-hmm.
CEO of X. And David Sachs.
I need a Law and Order clunk clunk sound effect. I do. You're right.
A good friend of Elon Musk. And they're both saying, no, we've got to pass the big, beautiful bill. So then have Bill Ackman stepping up. Now, the White House said that they were trying to schedule a call with Elon sometime today to work this out, which if you
didn't happen.
Look at the actual facts. Donald Trump was more restrained than I think I've ever seen him. Would you agree with that, Stu?
Yes, all he did was threaten the guy who got him elected with removing billions of dollars worth of business. Very restrained.
Yeah, he did not. I certainly didn't go nuclear like Elon Musk did.
No.
Well, again, you have to have both. For there to be mutual assured destruction, both sides need to have nukes. Now, this is standard fare for them. Let me go to, where is it? Did we cover the Lana Douche part of it? I don't know where she went so far in this. Whatever. Okay, so we looked into Lana Douche a little bit last week, I think. But I don't know how much further they've come, since it started to fall.
So indicative.
Since the real collapse happened, yeah.
Of where we are as a society as well.
Yes. Yeah, we suck as a society because Donald Trump and Elon Musk are fucking toddlers.
Feels like the season finale of MAGA. I don't know if they're going to make up or not.
Oh, boy. I wish. I canceled. Sorry. Just the viewers dropped off.
That may change, but it feels like we were watching this. It's like you're watching a reality show and you have the season finale of it and you're taking it all in and oh my gosh, mom and dad are fighting. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram or not, but
No. I'm not. I have no plans to, honestly. I don't know why anybody would, but
I found this most amazing AI image ever, and it's of like a 70s Trump, and he's in this just one of the most horrific jackets I've ever seen in my life. And Elon Musk, and it's like mom and dad. It feels like mom and dad are fighting, and I don't know who's going to get custody of us. Who gets custody?
Nothing's better than someone describing a picture from Instagram that isn't theirs.
Of the nation. I don't know who gets custody.
Right?
Those are the most bitchin' glasses I've ever seen.
Juan's putting that up right now.
I need those sunglasses.
Okay, that's the picture. We've seen that circulate.
Gosh, I would actually knock him down and rob him for those sweet Jim Jones sunglasses.
Whoa, a little close to the truth there.
My favorite. I put it to the tune of Al Green's "Let's Stay Together," and all of you out there were so disturbed by this. But can I just appreciate that jacket is so loud, but the hair is so sweet, and I mean it works. I would believe that.
I can smell it.
God damn! Can you imagine covering for this rift by going on about an AI image you found that you posted? This is your patchwork. This is the patchwork that she's doing.
Smoke.
Dude, can't you? And the leather seats, the Corinthian leather seats.
Yeah. Blah, blah,
right.
Blah.
I don't know
blah,
the
blah.
sweet shades. I don't know.
Yeah.
McDonald's 70s, just loud and
yeah.
With that soundbite one,
Filler.
because this is when I knew they weren't playing, because we'll get into that, the 11DD chess, whatever. This is when I knew that they weren't playing.
11DD chess. All right.
Bite one.
He's upset. Remember, he was here for a long time. You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk. And even with the black eye, I said, "Do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup." But he said, "No, I don't think so," which is interesting. and very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you could make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship.
Had.
I don't know if we will anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody.
No, you have two titans that are clashing, and everybody else can get hurt in the process, and that's what we don't want to happen. And yes, I said this when I was on Ingram last night. Yes, these are two people with outsized egos, and you have to have a large ego to be where you are at the level where they are, because you can't survive if you don't. I mean, that's kind of like this commonality with all of these people. I mean, you kind of have to have an outsized ego to survive, right? So we had the tweets started. I don't even remember. There were so many. At one point, I lost track. Like, we were going to go through all of them and throw them up but they kept doing it. And Musk was like, yeah. And then he said that he was going to decommission Dragon X. I don't even remember. Juan, there's so many of them now. They would not stop. We were going to go through it, and you guys, there's so many. Just go through. He said, whatever. Keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, so even though no oil and gas subsidies.
It's so sad. It's sorrowful.
Remember, Elon Musk is actually on record as saying that he wants all of that to go away. I mean, he literally sat there and he said over and over again, yes, we need to get rid of this. We need to get rid of all of these things.
He did. He said it.
And then the Epstein tweet happened, and I don't even know. It went into the Epstein tweet. I don't think that.
No.
He is really saying that Trump's a pedophile. I can't even believe I'm having this conversation right now. So nuts.
Can I say that I'm enjoying the fact that you have to, and it's fucking hilarious. And I'd give anything for a time machine. Everybody's like, what would you go back in time and do? Would you, kill Hitler before he could do that? No, I would go back in time 1 week to tell her that this is coming, just to see her reaction. I'm kidding.
We accidentally get drunk or high? Like, what happened?
When mom and dad fight.
It's so confusing because he drops this and he's like, have a nice day, DJT. I don't really, because he's had little X hanging out with POTUS, right? He's had little X on Marine One with POTUS. I mean, I don't think he believes it. I think he's just trying to make it all very uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, Trump's never been accused of being a gay pedophile, and maybe that's your bigotry showing that you think somehow pedophile means gay. That's your bigotry. That has nothing to do with the reality. There are heterosexual pedophiles. As a matter of fact, the vast majority of them are.
We have a society where everybody flexes online. This is part of it. So
especially the guy who owns the network.
He said that he's in the Epstein files, etc. Then from this tweet, before we go to the next, from this tweet, there was like an Epstein off. Like, who can get more photos with Epstein? And I'm pretty sure that halfway through, most of them were AI generated. Like, I saw a picture of Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Epstein apparently chugging from a champagne bottle. And I'm like, pretty sure that's AI, because I don't think that Elon Musk was that old in the 80s. Anyway, it just went crazy. And then POTUS went back at him. Musk went back at POTUS, saying that he was going to then decommission Dragon SpaceX. And then Musk said, Trump would have lost the election without me. I do believe that this is true. I believe that's true. I think that Trump needed Musk to win the election. I think that technology needs Republicans to progress. So
technology needs Republicans to progress. Oh, hang on. Wait. Cut. I was the violin player tends to go on. This of all the stupid shit we've heard, this might be literally the stupidest phrase that doesn't have to do with, of course, Trump is in the Epstein files, said by anyone about this.
Technology needs Republicans to progress.
What? Why? Do you think it's grown in on farms in red states? Why?
So it's kind of like, tit for tat. I think that both
No. You have to explain that dipshittery.
of them need each other. And the nation needs both of them. Look.
Jesus. See, I brought them back together.
Ta-da. Look, can we all get along? I love fighting, but this makes me nervous. It makes me incredibly nervous. So, yeah. Is it 11 DD chess? I don't think it is. I think that this is just the sign of the time.
11 DD chess doesn't exist. Maybe you're misreading it and you think 2D and they're using Roman numerals? All right, sure.
I think this is what happens when you have two titans who come together in this fashion and they duke it out. And it all is played out very publicly for a society that loves the public fight. It's like our new gladiators. This is what we have progressed to.
I see it. Yes, it's our fault. They're both toddlers. I blame us. All right, so. Jesus.
I have more on this coming up.
And when she says moron, she means it. Now, there are other issues going on, and I want to hit at least one of them on our way out if I could. Because there's plenty of dipshittery to deal with. I want to, let's see, where's this? Where is this? Yeah, so Trump he did this Invest in America Roundtable thing. And I'm just in this, let me show you. I'm just in this for the name announcements. There's Susie. Mike Johnson. And sit. What? Jesus Christ. Nobody's allowed to sit until the music stops? What is this? Musical chairs? Thank you. I win again because I was already touching my chair. But Scott Bessent, you missed out again, so get the fuck out. Please tell me that. Yeah, their mics are not on yet. This is hilarious.
We've had some exciting days in the last week, I would say, mostly.
Yes, most weeks contain days.
Some of the things you're reading about in Los Angeles, thank goodness we sent out some wonderful National Guard. They've really helped. And
they literally have not.
A lot of problems that we're having out there.
And it's not their fault that they're not needed, and it makes it worse.
They were afraid to do anything, and we sent out the troops, and they've done a fantastic job. So I want to thank them very much. I also want to thank you for being here as we discuss one of the most exciting parts of the One Big Beautiful Bill. It is indeed a big, beautiful bill, and it's doing very well.
No, it's not. Right now, they're carving out the SALT deduction aspect of it. And if they do that, they will lose 30 votes when it goes back to the House. It's dead if they do that.
The Trump accounts, as they call it, pilot program, which will make it possible for countless American children to have a strong start in life at no cost to the American taxpayer. Absolutely no cost. It's going to have a huge impact. I want to thank House Speaker Mike Johnson for, number one, being a great speaker, and number two, perhaps slightly less important, for being here today. Thank you, Mike.
For just being, I want to thank you for being here today.
Along with Chairman Jason Smith, who's fantastic, and Representatives French Hill, August Pfluger, Blake Moore, Rob Bresnahan, and Frank Lucas. Thank you all, fellas. Thank you very much. We appreciate it very much.
Wherever you are.
Thanks as well to many top business leaders from Invest America, CEO, Council. It's been a wonderful council. They've come up with some fantastic ideas. We're putting them into use. They're really the greatest business minds we have today. These men and women lead large, successful companies, and they're committed to contributing millions of dollars to the Trump account. And it's really, it's going to be something incredible for
Nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about with these Trump accounts. He's gonna like babies get a Trump account so you can just have a if you can afford to save any money when you have a baby, you can put it in there. You'll get I don't know like.
And for their employees in many cases, here's how the accounts work. For every U.S. citizen born after December 31st, 2024, before January 1st, 2029, the federal government will make a one-time contribution of $1,000 into a tax-deferred account that will track the overall stock market. In other words, it'll be pegged to an index that we'll pick. Right, Michael? We'll pick it. We'll pick a good one. Maybe
You won't pick one. It will be the index itself, just the stock market.
it should be the index. I'd like to have that. These kids would be very wealthy if that were the case. That would be a good idea. I think we might do that, Michael Dell. These accounts will be private property controlled by the child's guardians, and in many cases, those guardians will be the parents. We think probably the parents will be the guardians.
Probably. Yeah. I don't know. We'll think about it.
Guardians. They'll be open for additional private contributions each year from family, friends, parents, employers, churches, private foundations, and more. This is a pro-family initiative that will help millions of Americans harness.
This is that thing about like, how do we buy a baby? How do we make people pay people to have babies? That's what they're doing.
Strength of our economy.
By the way, if you put $1,000 into it, the tax on removing it will be far higher than the $1,000 because it's not a tax-free account. It's a 401k for children, right? But it's a one-time $1,000 thing that tracks the index. So the idea is if you had it when you were born and you just let it sit, you'd have more money than whatever if it didn't crash, right? But that's the idea. But they're going to get the tax money from that, so it'll cost nothing is the theory. That's why they believe it'll work.
Up the next generation, and they'll really be getting a big jump on life, especially if we get a little bit lucky with some of the numbers and the economies into
a little bit lucky, yeah.
Future.
Because that's what we're doing was just gambling with $1,000 of actual cash for these kids. Now, how many people can sue to get that money out if the kid gets sick or they need to pay for health care and this money is in that account? When can you take it out? If the parents are the guarantors, how much access will they have? Is it like a Coogan account where no matter what you do, you can't get it out till they're 18?
In addition to the substantial financial benefits of investing early in life, extensive research shows that children with savings accounts are more likely to graduate high school and college, buy a home, start a business, and are less likely to be incarcerated. Trump accounts will contribute to the lifelong success of millions of newborn babies.
He's gacked up on Adderall. You can hear the mouth smack. Ugh.
Velar fully, and this will be very interesting.
Velar fully? They're what? Velar fully?
Millions of newborn babies. Velar fully, and this will be very interesting, I think, for everybody to hear. They are fully funded through targeted reforms in the One Big Beautiful Bill, like the $1.7 trillion in mandatory savings, welfare reforms to stop waste and fraud, a 3.5% remittance tax, and more. And it's just a part of that. The One Big Beautiful Bill is among the most important pieces of legislation in our country's.
All right, yeah, he's selling this sales pitch.
Little tweaks, to put it mildly.
Hold on, what?
It's drone warfare. So a lot of things change. We did a great job with the military, but now we're going to have to do some little tweaks, to put it mildly. And we'll be doing that, and we have it all nicely funded. I look forward to signing this into law. It's really something that we're having such an opportunity. And I have to say, he's here with us. He's a person that I've admired for a long time. You take a look at what he's done and followed his record. And it's Dell chairman, Michael Dell. He's done such an incredible.
Yeah, so Dell's going to double the investment on employees. So the idea is that they're going to start these accounts, and then the companies will do matching funds to try and get these CEOs on board, and then that'll help them with retention and all kinds of stuff like that. That's what they're hoping.
Job. It's as a business person, I study.
Also, why wouldn't you just do any child under, before they're of school age, preschool age? Any child born in the next 3 years and any child born, in the last 6, we're going to automatically do this for them because, fuck them, I guess?
Business people. And that's
if it doesn't cost anything, it doesn't add anything to the deficit, long term, why not?
Perfect one to study.
I mean, obviously in 10 years it will, because it'll still sit there. That money will be borrowed to be put in that account. So you're borrowing against that, hoping that the tax revenue on it will be higher than the interest rate on the accumulated interest on that $1,000.
It should be almost mandatory reading. So I want to congratulate you on that, and thank you for the idea, because you're the first one that really brought this to my attention. I know that you and your friends have been talking about it for a long time, but other presidents didn't get it done, Michael, right? So we got it done. Congratulations.
You haven't gotten it done. It's in the bill, but it has not gotten passed.
Thank you very much. Sure. I want to also give some recognition to my friend Brad Gerstner, who helped get us all organized and
that's right.
And actually
thank you very much. Good, Brad.
Spearheaded this.
Good. And also we have with us a very powerful man in the world of business, CEO David Solomon of Goldman Sachs. David, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me
Long-time
here
friend.
today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi. Where is Khosrowshahi? Where?
Sorry, who?
Khosrowshahi. Where is Khosrowshahi?
Does that hurt?
Dara Khosrowshahi. Where is Khosrowshahi?
Oh, God.
Where? Thank you very much. That's a hell of a name, but you've done a hell of a job. So that's appropriate. And also, again, Chairman Smith for doing such a job. Nobody knows taxes better than Chairman Smith. When we have a problem.
What is happening? What is happening with that? Look, whether the Trump accounts or something is real or whatever, Dell obviously put this thing out or whatever, and they would add it. Doing something like that, a long-term investment for American-born children, great, whatever. I'm for it. Knock yourself out. That seems fine. It's such a Gordian knot of like legal issues and whether the money would actually stay with them and how you would do it and whether it's attached to their Social Security and whether it's just kind of a way of making money on the backs of, on these folks and like whether that seed money would be worth a goddamn or how they would actually be able to access it and what the interest on it would be. I mean, you should argue that since they had no choice in making the investment and it was given to them by the government, it should be tax-free by the time they take it out. So if they take it out when they're 18 years old, if they take control of it, they can sell it all at 18 years old and pay no taxes on that, and then take that money, and if they want to put it back into the stock market, they can pay on taxes on the investment after that fact. I think that would work just fine, right? But they put it in the bill to try and lure Democrats and others into voting for the bill. That's what this is for. Whatever. It's a good idea. Do it all right. Hal, you all right? Oh, I'm great. What is that? What is this happening? What's going on here? Can anybody explain what the fuck that is? That's. It looks like his hair was sculpted to look like a fish in Finding Nemo. This piece is over here. This part just looks like it was pulled forward to show his scalp tightening scar that he had, right? This rolled forward part. And then this part is just a nest. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's the piss-colored cotton candy thing. Hold on. There we go.
We go to see Chairman Smith, right? So I want to thank you very much, Dara and Chairman Smith. I appreciate it. So I'd like to begin by asking Speaker Johnson to say a few words. And I think then we're going to go to Michael Dell, David Solomon. We're going to go to Dara and then to Chairman Smith. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, thank you.
Yeah, I don't care about this or whatever. Like, is there questions? Does he take questions from anything? This is the Dell thing. That's Goldman Sachs. Then they go to that guy, and then they talk to this guy, and he kisses Trump's ass.
Talk to you about no tax on tips and the other 400. It does.
There's great respect. And if you don't mind, Brett, I'd like to say a few words, please. Thank you.
Well, first, it's a great honor and privilege to be here. We wouldn't be here without.
Yes, all praise, dear leader. Did they ask questions at this one?
Anytime soon.
Hold on.
That's all I can tell you. Yeah, please, in the back.
Under law.
Hold on.
Why is this situation different to not consult with Governor Newsom about this?
Well, the biggest change from that statement is we have an incompetent governor. So I talked about governors, but I didn't talk about he's an incompetent governor. Look at the job he's doing in California. He's destroying one of our great states. And if I didn't get involved, if we didn't bring the Guard in, and we would bring more.
He's been saying the same shit about the Guard. He said it in Minnesota. It was a lie then, too.
If we needed it, because we have to make sure there's going to be law and order. You had a disaster happening, and they now admit it was a disaster. I watched the chief.
No, they don't.
Yesterday, he was a good man, by the way, and he said, "Well, we're lucky we did this because they were overwhelmed. You saw what was happening, so we did the right thing. Everybody agrees to that."
Just bullshit.
But you have a governor who let the city burn down, didn't want water to be sent.
Right.
Down to him, and I sent billions of gallons of water.
To the center of the state.
I wanted to do it in the first term. He wouldn't do it over, I don't know, they have environmental reasons, but there were no environmental reasons. I think it's just a political philosophy. But it's lucky for the people in Los Angeles and in California that we did what we did. We got it just in time. It's still simmering a little bit, but not very much. Yeah, please.
Have you gotten...
What crime has Governor Newsom committed?
A crime has he committed? I think his primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job. What he's done to that state is like what Biden did to this country. And
great employment numbers, rising wages, infrastructure.
That's pretty bad. It's the wrong philosophy.
So we're going to arrest people for having the wrong philosophy. And I'm proud to be an American.
Thousands, hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants, many of them prisoners. They're taking up your health care. They're taking up your space in schools. They're taking up your hospital.
Nope.
In many cases, they're criminal.
They're taking up your job on a strawberry farm.
And we have to do something about it, and we're doing something about it. I want to thank the incredible patriots of ICE and Tom Homan, who has been incredible, and Kristi Noem, likewise incredible. The job they're doing. And it's like an unforced error. There was no reason for this. 21 million people.
What do you mean there was no reason for this? You sent those people in to cause this.
Allowed into our country. And many of those people were criminals.
No, they weren't.
And it's a shame. It's a shame. But we're getting them out. And I will say, I think it's a 95-5 issue, just like so many other issues, 95-5. And the Democrats lost an election in a landslide because they're the wrong side of the
jump ball.
I mean, it's not even conceivable that somebody would do the kind of things that he did. And then, you talk about projects. They want to build a train going from San Francisco to L.A., and it's costing hundreds of billions of dollars more than they thought it was going to cost. It's not even believable. To Brad and to people sitting here, would you believe that a train, it was going to cost X dollars and it might be 100 times X?
Would have paid for this for about 50 million American children.
You're right.
50 million American children instead of a 3-mile train track that never got built.
We could have put Lincoln in.
What the fuck? What do you paid for 50? Oh, because he thinks they're okay. This is birthing money. That's why you could pay for 55 million births with your $1,000 that you put out, right?
With no experience, he would have done a good job. I guarantee you that. All right, please, Peter.
Mr. President, have you gotten an update from your negotiating?
Thank you, President Trump. So it seems like Gavin Newsom likes the attention that he's getting right now from you.
Yeah, I think
it seems like he does. If you look at recent history, somebody who was running for president, who got arrested and had a mugshot, you could make the argument that politically that wound up helping you. Are you worried at all at this moment that talking about him getting arrested could be helpful to his political prospects? Because a lot of people think he wants to be sitting right where you are.
Well, in my case, it was a witch hunt, and everybody knew it. And I was able to explain that during the process. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. And it was a total witch hunt. It's proven to be a witch hunt, and you see what's happened.
No, you were convicted.
In case it really is very obvious. You look at what's happened between the fires. I could name 10 things right now. We talk about.
Go for it. But you said the fires. Go for it.
The trains. We talk about all of the costs in California. You talk about all of the people that are flowing and destroying life for everyone else. So no, I don't think it's going to help him. I think it's actually very bad for him.
And right around the time that we were walking in here, the governor and the state attorney general said that they're going to sue you for sending the National Guard in. They're saying there's no invasion, there's no rebellion. The president is trying to manufacture chaos and crisis on the ground for his own political ends. Federalizing the California National Guard is an abuse of the president's authority under law.
Well, it's interesting. You watched the same clips as I did. Cars burning all over the place, people rioting. And by the way, we stopped it. We were able to make it much better. But they
didn't stop it. The fucking regular cops. There's police officers. It's a big fucking city. It's a small area.
It looked pretty bad. And in watching clips last night, people were saying this is
clips. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't realize he'd seen clips.
A big problem. And until we went in, if we didn't do the job, that place would be burning down just like the houses burned down. They were in big trouble last night, Peter. You know it. And the night before, and the night before that. And
no, not really.
I feel we had no choice. I don't want.
Right.
I don't want to see happen what happened so many times in this country. I watched Minneapolis burn.
No, you didn't. Minneapolis is still around. It's a lovely city. Also, by the way, is it just me, or is it like this dude is way over fucking quota for riots on his watch?
I watched. Look at what happened in so many different parts of California. You take a look at what happened in San Diego.
Bakersfield.
There's so many different places.
San Diego? You mean the Republican bastion of San Diego?
Where we let it burn. We wanted to be politically correct. We wanted to be nice. We wanted to be nice to the criminal. And what you're doing is destroying the fabric of our life in this country. No, we did the right thing. We've been given credit by people that I would least suspect. Why I would say that some of the people that came in and said, thank goodness, they said, some of them, thank God that Trump got involved.
Bullshit. Made up. No, nobody said that. Nobody except big suck-ups are saying anything that fucking stupid.
Very happy I got involved. And I think...
Who? Name one. Give me one of the people. Who was it? Fucking John Voight?
In his own way is probably happy I got involved. Yeah, go ahead, Peter.
What do you make of the fact that he says, you want a civil war on the streets of America?
No, that's just the opposite. I don't want a civil war.
Oh, thanks. Super.
What happened if you left it to people like him? And I liked him. I always got along with him. Never had a problem with him. But he's grossly incompetent. Okay.
Why? Is that the one thing you guys had in common? Is that the idea?
An update from negotiators in London. Have you gotten an update from your team in London negotiating?
What? Louder.
Have you gotten an update from your team in London negotiating the China trade talks?
Yeah, he didn't need louder. He didn't know what the fuck you were talking about when you said London. You had to say China trade talks.
We are doing well with China.
Okay.
China's not easy, just like your home country is not easy, Dara. I think we're doing very well.
I'm pretty sure his home country is the United States.
They're over there now. I'm only getting good reports. It's a little early, but they'll be calling in soon. In fact, probably when I get back, I'll have my first call from them. We want to open up China. And if we don't open up China, maybe we won't do anything. But we want to open up China. It'll be a great thing for China, a great thing for the rest of the world.
Are you willing to lift export controls when it comes to China? Did you give your negotiators any sort of limitation?
We're going to see. Look, China has been ripping off the United States for many years.
Which is why we can't wait to be in bigger business with them. We want to open up China. They've been ripping us off and stealing our technology forever, so we want to get more of our companies into the country. It's a great idea.
Nobody charged them 10 cents. No president had the courage.
No charged them 10 cents? Whatever.
Charged China for whatever reason. They didn't want to do it. I took in hundreds of billions of dollars I put on tariffs.
Yeah, same shit.
Then I did it again, but I did it for a lot of others.
Wow.
Everybody was shocked. I wasn't shocked. I think a lot of the people at this table weren't, because they saw the billions of dollars that were pouring in, and the tariffs hadn't even started yet, just about. They were in cars. They were in some countries.
You can't have money pouring in if there isn't a tariff on it. Nobody's paying tariffs they don't have to pay. Nobody's paying preemptive tariffs, you dipshit.
It's at a very minor level. And we cut the deficit in half. And it was a big story a couple of days ago.
No, you didn't.
They said, I don't believe, one of the announcers on a business network went wild, said, I can't believe these numbers. Those numbers are good. The numbers are going to be very good. I think we're going to have a great 4 years. You know, we had the greatest economy in history during my 4 years.
Shit again.
Do you have a message for Greta Thunberg, and did she come up on your call with the Prime Minister today?
Well, she's a strange person. She's a young, angry person. I don't know if it's real anger. It's hard to believe, actually, but I saw what happened. She's certainly different. Anger managed.
Yeah, he's seen a video of her from like 5 years ago.
I think she has to go to an anger management class. That's my primary recommendation for her.
Kidnapped by Israel, as she says? Was she kidnapped?
I find it. I think Israel has enough problems without kidnapping Greta Thunberg.
And secondly, are you going to
Is that what she said? She was kidnapped by Israel?
Yes, sir. Are you going to get rid of the Tesla and the Starlink service that you have here at the White House?
No, I haven't heard that. I mean, I may move the Tesla around a little bit, but I don't think...
Move it around to someone else's parking lot.
We're doing that with Starlink. It's a good service.
Where are you going to move it to? Move it around. What do you mean?
I have a lot of locations.
Actually, about the Tesla.
I got so many locations that I don't know what to do with them all.
About the Tesla, did you
I guess he means to his golf courses.
ever see Elon Musk get physical with the Treasury Secretary?
No, I didn't.
And I tried to
They
ask...
did have an argument, but I didn't see I didn't see a lot of physicality there.
And there was this New York Times report...
Because a door was closed between you.
That he did not want to talk about, Elon Musk, that alleged that he, towards the end of his time in the White House, was blurring the lines between recreational use of drugs and medicinal. Do you think he ever had drugs here at the White House?
I really don't know. I don't think so. I hope not.
Yes, he did.
Look, I wish him well. You understand. We had a good relationship, and I just wish him well. Very well.
Yeah, not as well as Ghislaine Maxwell, but close.
Yeah.
About aid in Gaza, you mentioned now the flotilla. Do you have a response at all about Israel intercepting this boat? And can you give us an update on what's happening?
He doesn't know about it.
To the entry of aid into Gaza right now. We've had people being shot by Israeli forces who are trying to get aid from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. Yes.
Gaza right now is in the midst of a massive negotiation between us and Hamas and Israel, and Iran actually is involved. And we'll see what's going to happen with Gaza. We want to get the hostages back. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, please, in the back.
Yeah. You said yesterday when I reported that it was not.
By the way, I don't. Hold on. The flotilla is that Greta Thunberg, sailboat with a bunch of peace activists. They got intercepted because there's no fucking way they're going to get to the beach in Gaza. First of all, you're not. There's no situation where they're just going to let some boats through and not others, or have random boats just be able to roll up to there, especially with the amount of arms that goes into that area. It's just dumb. And secondly, they'll get killed. There was, let's see, hold on one second. There was a guy, Antonio, I'm blitzing on his name right now. Let's see, he's an Italian activist who was killed. Let's see, he was kidnapped first, and then they hung him. Aragoni, Vittorio Aragoni. He was. This was, what year was he killed? Hold on a second. In 2011. See if there's a picture of him. Yeah. This guy. So. This guy went into Gaza and was a total pro-Palestinian activist, and was arranging aid and all that kind of stuff. Went in and he was kidnapped by a Palestinian group there. Which one was it? Where is he? I don't have the name listed here, but it was like one of the Islamic Jihad kind of groups in there, kidnapped him and then hung him in Gaza. Yeah, he was on a flotilla as well. That's how he got there. He arrived on a flotilla.
Social a bit later, you'd said they were insurrectionists. After what you've seen
You're talking about in L.A.?
Yes, sir, in L.A.
I wouldn't call it quite an insurrection, but it could have led to an insurrection. I mean, that was a lot.
No, it's not even close to like 90s levels. Just stupid.
That was a lot of harm that was going on last night. I watched it.
Ooh, harm. Yikes.
Very closely. And it was amazing that the job that the National Guard did. And by the way, the police were working very hard also. But, you know, the police are given instructions to be politically correct. I said, no, you don't have to be politically correct. You have to do the job.
And on Elon Musk, do you plan to speak to him on the phone anytime soon? I know some.
Which one?
On Elon Musk, do you plan to speak to him on the phone anytime soon?
I haven't really thought about it, actually.
Bullshit. That's a no.
Imagine he wants to speak to me. I would think that. If I were him, I'd want to speak to me. And maybe he was already called. You'd have to ask him whether or not he's already called. But I'd have no.
You don't know? Ask. Susie's sitting right next to you, asshole.
Problem with it. Well, I don't want to say that, but I would imagine he'd want to talk to me.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
Proposal from Iran today. Have you gotten that proposal? And what is the main impediment?
We have a meeting with Iran on Thursday, so we're going to wait till Thursday.
And what's the main impediment to getting a deal?
Well, they're just asking for things that you can't do. They don't want to give up what they have to give up. You know what that is.
What? You don't want to say the N-word? Nuclear?
Seek enrichment. We can't have enrichment. We want just the opposite.
The opposite of enrichment? We want you to take weapons-grade uranium and turn it into lead. We want just the opposite of enrichment.
And so far, they're not there. I hate to say that because the alternative is a very, very dire one, but they're not there. They have given us their thoughts on the deal, and I said, it's just not acceptable. I would say, yeah. I don't know what else. I can talk about the weather.
Well, you can talk about Lebanon.
Pretty much that's the main topic, yeah.
Mr. President.
We talked about Lebanon also, yeah, we did.
What about Lebanon?
Well, Lebanon's working very hard. They have a great new ambassador that I put there. Man I know very well. He's very smart. I didn't even know he was Lebanese. And I said,
Jesus.
Why would you want Lebanon? He said, I was born there. I love it. I love the people. I said, it's very dangerous going to Lebanon. There are some ambassadorships that are wonderful. There are some that are dangerous. I said, Michel, his name is. It's a he, Michel, very elegant man. And I said, why would you want that?
Very elegant.
And he said, because I love my country and I love those people. I said, it's very dangerous. He goes, I don't care. This is not a man that lived on danger. He's a very successful man from here. And he wanted to be the ambassador despite probably a very dangerous situation he's going into. You see what's going on. But I had great respect for that. He loves that country. He loves it. He was born there. He loves the country.
Yeah, we know. You just found out, too.
Mr. President, you've got a big, beautiful parade coming up on Saturday.
Oh, my God. Brian Glenn.
What's your biggest expectations for that? Then I've got a second question.
Patching the holes in Pennsylvania Avenue?
In regards to Gavin Newsom. Go ahead and talk about the big, beautiful parade.
Thank you, Brian. It's such a, I think, important moment for this country. 2 weeks ago I was calling people and back at
All right, blah, 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 blah. Sales pitch.
Eiffel Tower. But when I got myself, isn't that crazy? And I think it's all the different forts. And what do? We change the name of the forts because
they're named after Confederates?
We'll get that back very quickly. But we have a military the likes of which nobody has. Nobody just left them. No, I think it's time that we celebrate. And I sort of have to laugh at these people. Well, you know, you're going to spend a lot of money. A lot of that money is being paid for by me and people that make donations. I don't know if you know that. A lot of it won't even come out of the military. I think I can say that, Susie, right? We have people putting up money to do it. Not that it's necessary, because I think it's a great expenditure. We have mini tanks.
Bullshit.
I'm celebrating Flag Day. It happens to be the same day, so I take a little heat. But Flag Day is the appropriate date. And we're celebrating 250 years of the Army, a great service. And remember, you know, think of it. We won so much. We won World War.
Oh, my God. Bone spurs.
Celebrate, and that's what we're doing. So it's all over the place. So we have
future of California and for U.S.
I don't
investments.
think he is. I mean, I think he's done a terrible job. And, you know, he's a guy, I always got along with him. You look at his past statements about me. I was a great president. I always took care of California, you know, all that. But I'm just talking on results. You look, you know, here's the advantage of beautiful weather, maybe the best weather of any state when you think about it. Beautiful weather.
Mike Johnson. Yeah. Definitely beats the shit out of mine.
Beautiful ocean, beautiful everything. You have all the advantages. And he didn't take advantage of that. And he's let people come in by the millions who are overrunning your hospitals, your education system.
How does he do it? He's the governor.
And your police are being overrun. Look at what's happened.
No, they're not, actually. It's pretty great. The city's pretty great.
He should only be...
all it has done is improved since COVID.
I sent in the military, because if I didn't send them in, you would have had
This is Minnesota talking points.
problem there, the likes of which we haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, please. Thank you, Brian, very much.
Supersonic flight. On supersonic flight.
Supersonic
yes,
flight.
sir. I know you just signed an executive order
Right.
on it. Do you want to see a supersonic Air Force One in the next 10 years or so?
Oh, well,
Oh my God, boring. All right, I'm out. I'm a half hour over, and I gotta go feed my kids.
Can't
So
do much about that. But I would like...
Shut up. So I want to thank you guys for being here. I will see you guys tomorrow in the afternoon at the regular time. And then I guess we'll end up on Friday on Karen's show. And then, regular shows throughout the week, except Thursday I'm going to be on Stephanie Miller's show in the morning. And then I'll do my afternoon show, and then I'll go to the QAF thing directly from there. So I'll do that in LA, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to drive back here to be with family and to do the show on Friday. I'll do Friday Eye from here in the studio. So listen to me, it's an 8x8 office, but I'm proud of it. God damn it! But the important thing is that we watch as everything goes Trump's way, even when it doesn't. And even as it won't. I mustn't be so sad. See you tomorrow. Thank you guys. Hit that like, share the show. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to the Substack and all the channels and stuff. I guess it's a good idea. It would be helpful. I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there.
He's snarky, smart, and always by your side. It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. News, laughs, and righteous sass. Kicks fake news right in the face. So smash that like and don't be shy. Subscribe now or blink and cry.
I'm your huckleberry.
I'm rich and I'm dead sexy.
We've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
I know he. Stop breaking the law, asshole!
I am your father, Luke. Give in to the dark side of the Force, you knob.
Nice. Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
Sorry, I farted. It's not Irish. It's not English.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what is my kindness for the heart? You know, it's just, well, it's just piking.
Welcome to the real world. I'll use small words that you'll be sure to understand, you warthog-faced buffoon.
Easy, real nice. If I didn't have puke breath, I'd kiss you.
Well, it's a well-known fact, Sonny Jim, that there's a secret society of the 5 wealthiest people in the world known as the Pinterest, who run everything in the world, including the newspapers, and meet tri-annually at a secret country mansion in Colorado known as the Meadows.
So who's in this Pentaverate?
The Queen, the Vatican, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, and Colonel Sanders before he went tits up.
They laughed at us when we said that aliens existed, and they mocked us when we started wearing bubble wrap jumpsuits. But who's laughing now, huh? I'll tell you who's laughing now. We are! Soon we will leave this lame planet and fly through outer space with cool aliens who like us. It is going to be awesome!
All right. Who wants some?